This week on the Computer Chronicles, Desktop Video. We'll show you the newest way to get digital video into your computer. We'll show you how to turn your video into a panoramic 3D image using something called the Video Brush. We'll visit the new Digital Room exhibit at the San Jose Tech Museum of Innovations, plus a complete video production studio on your desktop for under $1,000. A look at how one NBC TV affiliate is moving to digital desktop video and how you can create your own dancing baby. Also, my pick of the week. It's all coming up next on the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by SoftSource Incorporated, publishers of Pro1's Mathematics Tutor in a Box for school year 98-99, including 6 CDs and workbook. And by Z Auction, the live online shopping experience. Additional funding from PC Connection and Mac Connection, the catalog and online superstore with PC and Mac products, toll-free technical support and overnight delivery. And by Windows Magazine, delivering desktop, enterprise, and internet computing news, reviews, features, and how-tos for a Windows world, because the world runs on Windows.
Hi, and welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee. Well, the first creative revolution spawned by personal computers was desktop publishing. But the next revolution we're witnessing right now is desktop video. The worlds of TV and computers are coming together as everything moves to the digital platform. That means you can now use your desktop PC to create high-quality video productions, and you can do all this at a relatively reasonable price. The first job is to create the video materials, and for that you need a video camera and a video capture card. And Robert, you're with Adaptec, and you guys have helped establish this new standard for moving video into a PC, which is called IEEE 1394, or in the Apple world, FireWire. Right. What exactly is that?
Well, 1394 is a new serial interface technology that's meant to marry the world of consumer electronics products and computers. It uses very thin, friendly cables with very durable connectors.
But there's a lot of stuff going through there.
There's a big pipeline of data going through.
Now, these are the connectors over here?
That's right. Those are the 1394 connectors, and this is a SCSI connector on our new product.
And some people are saying these things are going to become as common as our RCA jacks we see in VCRs right now.
That's right. The plan is to put them in HD TVs, set-top boxes, all manner of consumer electronics products.
So what's going on that cable is not only the audio and the video are moving from the camera into the computer, but the computer is able to go back and control cameras at the same time,
That's right? It's a two-way pipeline.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about now. You've got a digital camcorder right here. First job I've got to do is get the video into my computer.
That's right.
Why do I need a digital camcorder as opposed to an older analog camcorder and spend the extra money?
Well, it's much like the transition that people have made from the world of vinyl records into CDs. Analog was fine for its time, but there was always a problem with analog camcorders and computers, which is trying to move the data in. With a digital camcorder, though, you'll be moving from a digital tape or a digital feed directly into your PC across an all-digital 1394.
So there's no loss of quality converting from analog to digital.
As matter how many times.
Show us how we would use that digital. That's a Sony camcorder. Right. Just shoot a couple of seconds here.
For example, we would be shooting you and saving either directly to hard disk or onto the digital tape that's in the camcorder.
Okay, so you could record on that digital tape cartridge or go right to hard disk, which is what you're doing right now.
Right.
All right, now we've recorded a sequence. It's now sitting on the hard drive. How do I now get to that and play with it and start to manipulate it and edit it?
Well, very simply, this is DVDec, an application that Adaptec ships with its products. And
so that's sort of a player device that would come with the card.
That's right. And what it'll do is it'll control your camcorder, control the information that's available even on your hard disk, and allow you to play back and operate a camcorder. So what we're going to do now is play back a file of you that we shot a little bit earlier. And this is coming directly from the hard disk now.
So we're playing off the hard drive, but you still need the camera because you're using the electronics inside the camera to really manage this.
That's correct. Still an essential piece.
Okay, and now the next step would be I then move into an Adobe Premiere or some sort of other editing piece of software and start to edit this digital video.
That's right. Any standard video editing program on either the Macintosh or the PC will work.
So I've got to buy a digital camcorder, maybe about $2,000 now.
That's right.
I've got to buy this Adaptec card, which costs me how much?
$6.99.
And then I'm ready to move all this stuff right inside.
That's right.
How much storage space do I need? That's the next thing. I've got to buy some big, fast hard drive, don't I?
It depends if you're shooting movies or short clips.
Yeah.
1 minute of DV will chew up 216 megabytes on your hard disk.
All right, you need some serious storage.
You need some serious storage, and you need some serious SCSI storage.
Right. All right, thanks, Robert. All right, desktop video is moving beyond simply capturing digital video images and editing them on your PC. The ability to put multimedia in digital format is opening up some incredible options for creative video artists. One example is the new Digital Room exhibit at the San Jose Tech Museum of Innovation.
The Tech Museum of Innovation in San Jose, California is a hands-on kind of place. Surrounded by the computer companies of Silicon Valley, the museum is filled with exhibits that bring high tech down to the level of kids and their parents. So robots are shaped like chameleons, and a rhinoceros is assembled with computer-aided design. The Tech Museum offered a preview of future exhibits in what they call a digital studio. The goal is to teach kids how to create their own multimedia room with sound, animation, and video.
We really had some basic ideas about multimedia and about local area networks that we wanted to get across. So just the whole power of digital media and what can you do once you've translated media into the numerical language of computers.
Upon entering the digital studio, visitors get a barcoded card which tracks their progress through the various stations inside the room. It is also the museum's way of testing the concept of a network card that someday might be issued to every museum visitor.
What that card does for you is it allows you to set up an account on a central server. So this is a central computer that visitors don't interact with directly, but it stores all of the video and photos and animation, etc. that they create.
At the first station inside the studio, kids record themselves before a chroma key screen, a way to place live figures inside a pre-recorded landscape. Then they can take a video snapshot of themselves and modify it with a graphics program. After stopping to record sound, they move to the motion capture station where head and hand sensors translate body movement into digital motion.
On the one hand, it means that our visitors are coming in much better informed and much more interested because this is part of their own lives. This is not just something that happens off in the distance in a few TV studios or movie studios. So the fact that it's much more relevant to their own lives means that we've got a real strong starting point for then talking about some of the more, the tougher concepts. What is binary, or what does digital mean?
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Sarah O'Brien.
What's amazing about putting video on your desktop computer is you can now do all kinds of wild things with the video that would have been impossible in the old analog days. One example is a 360-degree video panorama made possible by some clever new software from VideoBrush. And Jim, how does this all work? You turn just a plain old camcorder pan into a navigatable 3D scene?
Exactly. Here we've got some video footage that was shot with a camcorder miles away from any computer, and we captured it and converted it into an AVI file or a QuickTime file. And then our software enables you to convert that into a navigable
So you could stop,
image.
start, go left, right, up,
That's
down.
right. And you can use Real Space or QuickTime VR or Smooth Move or Black Diamond, any of the surround viewers.
All right, let's see how you actually do this. You've got your camcorder over there. Can we actually create in real time a 360 panorama of our studio? And suppose we wanted to show our viewers what goes on behind the scenes here.
Absolutely. What we've got to do is make sure that we're shooting it in the way that one would normally shoot a panorama with video. We want to make sure that we're focused. We want to make sure that we're moving slowly so that we don't get motion blur. And here we go.
So you're in record mode right now, and you're just going to twist all the way around 360 in our studio here. So that's the view people might normally see. But as you keep on going, we'll go behind the scenes here and see.
That's right. And I'm trying to avoid translation and just rotate the camera. And I've got a little bit of the top of my head, but it's going to work anyway.
Okay.
Because we're going to come back and get
sort of
that
back to where you
sign
started there.
and go a little bit beyond it to make sure that we're covered.
Okay, so you can see what the software was doing here is really converting that movie into a bunch of still frames, right?
Exactly.
So is he just sort of picking a number of frames, you know, every, whatever, 20th or 30th frame?
Actually, it takes about every 4th or 5th frame.
Okay.
And here we go.
And
Let's
now you're
build
going to
it.
tell it to build this 3D mosaic, huh?
That's exactly right. So it does a rough alignment first to show you that you've got what you wanted, and then it goes back and does a fine alignment of each frame to the other frame surrounding it, and then a blending, which is not a feathering or a smearing. It is truly a rebuilding of a new image.
So it's doing pattern analysis, looking at each of those, whatever, every 4th frame or whatever, deciding how they should match up and where to place them so they're seamless.
Exactly. It's going sub-pixel, comparing luminance, chrominance, and really doing an analysis that is based on all of the attributes of every single pixel.
So it did it once roughly, it went back and fine-tuned it, and what do we have now?
And we've got our 360, and now we're going to
put it in the viewer?
We're going to put it in the viewer. We're going to give it a name.
This all started out really as a defense application, right? In which, you know, the Defense Department was trying to put together aerial reconnaissance photographs.
That's correct. It was developed at the David Sarnoff Research Center and then first applied to government work.
All right, so here's our view, and you're now
go.
just whoop, there was you. You
There
did
was
get
my
your head in the
and
shot.
We can go all the way around and all the way back, and there it is.
So we could take something like this, put it up on our website, and people could just go there and navigate around our studio
That's
on their
right.
own.
It's great for location scouting, great for real estate sales, great for travel agents, great for anybody at home who wants to show somebody their room on the web.
Jim, very cool. $60 and downloadable from your website.
Thanks a lot, Stuart.
All right, thank you. Well, it's nice to be able to do all these far-out things with your video, but for most of us, what we really want to do is use our PC to turn raw video into an exciting, finished video product. For that, you need some editing and post-production capabilities, and Ron, I guess that's what you do with DV300?
Yes, DV300 from Pinnacle Systems is our entry into the consumer market of digital video. And DV300 brings us all kinds of tools to make the editing experience of home video and even professional video very easy.
All right, let's see how that works. I've got my little digital camcorder here.
Yes.
You've recorded a bunch of scenes on a trip to New Zealand or something.
Yes.
I want to start to edit that into a nice movie to show my friends. How do I do this?
First thing we do is we scan the tape. And when we scan the tape, DV300 software will actually go out and watch the tape. You don't have to touch the camera. It'll start rolling it. It'll watch the tape and detect all the scenes and give us a thumbnail for each scene. And we can see some thumbnails here. Here's some of the
each of those thumbnails is what, the first frame of a new sequence on the tape?
Yes. And then we can drag images and build ourselves a rough cut list by dragging from our scene gallery here into our capture gallery, and these will be the images that we capture as AVI files.
Now, where's the video sitting right now? Is it still here on the tape, or is it on my hard drive?
At this point, it's still on the tape. When we hit the capture button, it will capture these scenes to the hard drive.
Okay, those particular scenes I've selected to put into the finished movie go to the hard drive.
Exactly.
All right, so now when I do this, how can I determine the in points and the out points and kind of fine tune my editing here?
Oh, sure. In the scene information, we know when the clip begins and ends, and we can trim those points. So that way we only capture the video we want.
Can I actually preview the clip then and actually intelligently select the ins and the outs?
Yes, we can. We can play the clip and even in real time select the in and the out points. And that'll save us hard drive speed, hard drive room and time when we're actually capturing the video.
And I can use the software here as a controller on my camcorder and operate it from the software.
We control every function of the camcorder.
All right, so what do I do next? I've picked some of those sequences and I want to start to build and assemble my final video.
Yes, for that we bundle the Adobe Premiere LE software. And Adobe Premiere is the most popular computer-based consumer video editing tool in the marketplace, and it gives us a lot of tools. We take the power of Adobe Premiere one step further with the plugin we call Instant Video. Now, I've built a little video here this morning before the show. We'll go ahead and open that up. And we know for users who have worked with Adobe Premiere that when you build an entire movie, when you want to make this movie and play it back out and record it, Adobe Premiere recreates the entire movie, every scene, every transition, every graphic. It builds a brand new.
Takes a long time.
It takes a long time to do. And if you make any little change one effect or change one graphic, normally Adobe Premiere has to recreate that entire movie again. With instant video, if we make a change, so we want to change this band wipe into a barn door wipe, we're just not happy with that one item.
All right, so you're happy, you've looked at the movie, a 10-minute movie, you say, I just don't like that one transition, that's what I want to change. That's when you'd actually start using the power of DV300?
That's right, Stuart. Let's do it here. Let's go ahead and delete this band wipe, and let's pull a barn door wipe in instead. Now we'll save this file, and we'll export this to our instant video. As you see the plug-in here. Now, instead of recreating the entire movie as would normally happen, we're just recreating this one effect, and the rest of the movie stays the way it was, and we can now preview the whole thing and maintain our creative flow and interact with our production.
So again, in Premiere alone, I can't do that. So I'm using DV300 as a kind of plug-in to make Premiere work better.
Yes.
All right, and now this is the finished piece of video?
This is the finished piece of video, and we'll play through. We'll see our logo come up, very popular with the
And that kind of thing you could have done inside your software?
Yes, you can. And we just saw that the barn door wipe came up instead of the band wipe.
And that was the new transition you created?
But we didn't have to change anything else in the movie.
Okay, very cool, Ron. Thank you. All right, well, for most professional broadcast stations, PC-based video is still something for the future. But now there is a new TV studio in a box called the Trinity that's causing some TV stations to think again about how they do television production.
KCRA is a major network television station in Sacramento, California. Inside the fortress-like building is everything you might expect to see in a busy TV production center. There are rows of editing stations, banks of broadcast equipment, and a control room where video signals are mixed together through a switcher. Last but not least, there is a professional staff trying hard to meet deadlines.
Good afternoon. I'm Channel 3 meteorologist Angela Buckman in the Weather
Recently, KCRA decided to try an experiment. What if they could replace some of their expensive production equipment with a digital equivalent that would fit into one desktop box? KCRA is testing a Trinity video production system from a company called Play. Trinity is a PC-based digital studio that features software versions of television hardware.
With the Trinity, you can do it all in one box. You don't have to go outside for anything. You can take and make your own art, make your own graphics, make your own look, and get it exactly the way you want it to look.
The Trinity operator can wear many hats. He can be a graphics designer, an animator, or an editor. He can even call up a switcher with on-screen controls that look and function like the console version. But Trinity is not a toy. Unlike most home PC video software, the system's output is meant to be of the highest broadcast quality.
Trinity has the potential of revolutionizing television with all the facets of it, the graphic system, the ability to shoot on a virtual set because of the switcher, the digital switcher. You're getting digital quality output for a minimal price.
Trinity's most compelling feature is the price, about $5,000 for the basic unit. Play offers a digital editing option for an additional $6,000. And the company has a simple but lofty goal: to make the $500,000 production equipment needed to run a television station obsolete.
It'll probably cause a decentralization of TV as we know it right now. Rather than having huge plants for churning out videos, you'll be able to do it from your house.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Sarah O'Brien.
For those of us who spend a lot of time looking at computers, the dancing baby is no big deal. We've seen it many times, even downloaded it from the web. But when the dancing baby hit primetime TV in the Fox series Ally McBeal, everyone got turned on to what you can do with a PC. And Jeff, Dancing Baby was created in something called Character Studio, which is a plugin for 3D Studio Max.
That's right.
And I want you to show us how that dancing baby was created and what you can do with this kind of software.
Sure. Well, right off the bat, let me just, we'll play back the
There's
dancing
the famous
baby.
dancing baby.
Probably seen
And of course,
already.
everybody's amazed because it's kind of spooky. He's so lifelike. The motion is so real.
It is. It looks very real, but it actually is completely synthetic. It was created.
Now let's go back into Character Studio and show how you would create a character like that.
Very good. This is 3D Studio Max and Character Studio together. And Character Studio actually allows us to create the structure for a character very quickly for a bipedal character.
So a lot of that logic, that motion is kind of built into the intelligence of the software. I don't have to figure out every single joint movement.
Exactly. It understands the concepts of balance and footstep placement.
So I pull up, say, a template biped here.
Sure.
And what do I do to make him move?
Well, to create a basic walk sequence, all we really do is go in and tell it we'd like to create footsteps, and we start putting footsteps down on the ground.
Have this character walk in this path.
Exactly. And as soon as we tell it that we've created the footsteps we like, the character begins to walk and swing its arms as it should.
All right, so again, the arm swinging is built into the algorithm. It knows to do that. I don't have to figure that out.
Exactly. And it really is a template. It gets you started so the artist can continue from there and add personality.
Okay, and if I want this guy to make a left turn, if I want him to climb upstairs, how do I do that?
What we would do, we support a number of operations on the footsteps. I can go ahead and select a set of footsteps, the ones that we've laid down here. For example, just kind of bend him around a corner here, and the character will respond appropriately.
He'll just make a left turn. Suppose I want him to climb stairs. I mean, does he automatically know how to bend his knees and joints and all that stuff?
Exactly. If I were to select a couple of these footsteps here and decide that I just really wanted to rotate these up slightly at the end, the character will actually step into that and turn its feet automatically to go, and it'll raise itself up.
Yeah, we see him going up like that. We almost see the strain on that thigh as he climbs those stairs. Now, what about the arms? Suppose I want him to pick up something. Again, there's all kinds of, elbow and joint and wrist stuff going on.
Sure. Well, you can certainly pose the individual joints individually if you like, but what's much more intuitive is to actually just grab the end of the hand here and tell it you'd like to drag it out to the side and set a keyframe. And the arm knows to approach that key.
And all the joint action will come with a natural move.
Exactly. And you can combine actually a number of different...
All right, let's go back to Dancing Baby and show how that was built. I guess you start with a wireframe of some sort?
Sure, exactly. Let's go ahead and bring in a version of the baby, the actual baby that was used. This is actually a model, a 3D model that can be shaded, and it was created with wireframe originally is kind of the underlying structure, and all of those little squares can be shaded with computer simulated lights, and that's how Dancing Baby is really represented.
All right, now finally I want you to show us the next step. You've actually got new Dancing Babies that do even a lot more. You've got the flip move. Can we take a look at that flip?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, just to illustrate what's possible, we actually have an animation here of a baby doing something a little more sophisticated. This is just kind of a round-off kick and flip around.
Virtual people.
Exactly.
All right, it's great. Thanks very much.
Sure thing.
All right, that's our look at desktop video. Next up, another special preview of Windows 98, and I'll be back in just a moment with my pick of the week.
Sometimes when you're troubleshooting a problem on your system, you'd like to get a brand new file from the installation CD. Sounds easy, but let me show you what you're up against. Here's the Windows 98 installation CD. Let's say I'm looking for the mouse driver. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. There's an easy way to get it, though, and that's in a program called the System File Checker. I'll go ahead and launch that. By clicking on Extract One File from Installation Disk, I'll go ahead and type in mouse.drv, the name of the mouse driver, and then the Start button. I'll go ahead and tell it where I want it to get it, which is the D drive, or my CD drive, and click OK. It'll ask me if I want to back up the original file. That's a good idea, so I'll click OK. Now it'll go and it has now replaced the mouse driver. It asks if I want to restart. Normally you'd say yes, but I'll go ahead and click no. I know that there's a brand new copy of the mouse driver on my system, which will help me figure out what the problem is. I can also click Scan Files for Errors. By clicking Start, it'll now go through and scan all of the known system files for problems. This is a really neat feature that comes free with Windows 98. Back to you, Stuart.
Now for my pick of the week. We've shown you several terrific products for doing desktop video, but these are not inexpensive software toys. They're really meant for the more serious video junkie. If what you want to do is just mess around with some home video, work on family projects, have fun being creative, I have an incredible little piece of software which is just perfect for that, and it costs under $150. It's called Wiki Pro from a small software company in Spain, but this is one terrific, rich, and deep product. It gives you a full virtual editing console with the ability to see previews of 3 clips at a time. You can mix video clips, stills, and titles. For video clips, you can just play the clip to check it or go into the clip and do some amazing things like post-production digital zooms, slow motion, etc. You can create a variety of interesting transitions from one sequence to another. Just open up the clip and define the transition effect. You can create titles, you can add drop shadow, add movement, just about anything you want. The software comes with a library of sound clips and clip art. You can record your own voiceovers. You can even edit your stills with Photoshop-type tools. And when you're all done, you can play back your finished creation. Also, you can obviously use this for dynamite presentations. This is an incredible little piece of software. It's called Wiki Pro, and it sells for under $150. There's also an entry-level version for about $60. That's it for this edition of the Chronicles. If you'd like any more information about anything you saw on the show, please check out our website at chnptv.com. Thanks for watching. I hope we'll see you here next time.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by SoftSource Incorporated, publishers of Pro One software, educational software for young adults. And by Z Auction, the live online shopping experience. Additional funding from PC Connection and Mac Connection, the catalog and online superstore with PC and Mac products, toll-free technical support and overnight delivery. And by Windows Magazine, delivering desktop, enterprise, and internet computing news, reviews, features, and how-tos for a Windows world, because the world runs on Windows.
To purchase a videotape copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-310-7850. Please specify the show number and the topic.
Next week on the Computer Chronicles, travel software. We'll show you how to plan a cross-country road trip with this cool program called Map & Go. We'll take you to citysurge.com for a guided virtual tour of San Francisco. We'll show you how to buy plane tickets and book hotel rooms on the web. We'll see the new online version of the Lonely Planet Guide, plus some CD-ROMs that'll give you a preview of your photo safari to Africa. And we'll follow this family as they travel around the world with their laptop computer. Plus, my pick of the week, a nifty little road warrior gadget. Don't leave home without it. It's all coming up next week on the Computer Chronicles.